Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at Vojvodina. Vojvodina is brought to you by Brave Giant. It's for 2 to 4 players, ages 9 and up, and games generally run about 30 to 60 minutes. Welcome to the exciting world of Vojvodina. In this game, you take on the role of a farmer who produces crops and supplies town markets by making lucrative contracts. Your goal is a simple one. You have more money than the other players at the end of the game. However, this task is not easy. You will have to find a balance between the number and type of contracts made with the town markets and the amount of grain that will be harvested from your fields. Smart and careful planting is just as important as negotiating with the best paying markets. It is not enough to be just a good and smart farmer, but also a great salesman to be successful in this beautiful and rich region. So to start things off, each player will choose a color and get their corresponding card. Now you're also going to get a bonus card. This bonus card is a guide that helps you through the course of the game, showing you what different possible bonuses are available to you. Now you're also going to get 2 fields. Well, really it's 4 because each of these constitute as 2. So these are going to be used to be placed out into the main board as you're trying to fulfill contracts and so forth. Now, the thing here is that this board is assembled as part of the game. So each player will receive one of these tiles, and you'll see that they have all different configurations. Now, you can combine and build this however you want, as long as each of these tiles touches 2 sides around the board. So you can't do some weird configuration where there's only one connecting part and so forth. So lots of different ways that these boards and the fields can be assembled, but they do have some confining rules. Now, the rest of the tiles are going to be placed to the side, as you'll be hopefully pulling these to be used later in the game. Now, there's also coins, which is how you hope to win the game, have the most money, and your uncultivated fields. We'll take a look at what that means in a minute. And then you pick a first play and you're ready to go pretty much. Now, there are cards, contract cards, and you're going to be dealing out 6 of these to each player. And based on the player count, we'll determine how many rounds. This is set up for a 3-player game, so we're going to go 3 rounds, and each round consists of 6 turns. Now, a closer look at these contract, or I should say town cards. These are going to be kind of your bread and butter of the game. So they represent the town, and you'll see this at the top. Each town will be part of a region, and these will be icons and things that you'll be using in order to get bonuses, which we'll take a look at. But also at the bottom of the card, you'll see what the grain demand is of the region on the left. And of course on the right is the coin value. So on your turn, you basically have 2 choices. You can either retain a card, hold one, placing it face down, or you can discard a card. And what does that mean? Well, so if you choose to discard a card, this will allow you to get a new puzzle piece or field piece for you to use out on the board for this particular round. Now, the thing is that when you retain a card, you're going to be placing it face down in front of you, being mindful of what the grain demand is, because that's going to play into how you put your fields out into the map. Now, when you retain that card, you get to place one of your fields, one of the tiles that you've gathered, or one of your starting tiles. You'll be placing them out on the field. Now, to get some of these bonuses and things, you really need to be mindful of how you place these out on to the main board or the field. And what you're doing is you're taking these and you're going to be placing them in a configuration, where they don't overlap, they don't hang off the board, they're not at a diagonal, things like that. You have to place them orthogonal basically on the board, and you can't encroach on somebody else's field. So be mindful of that. And one of the things you're looking for obviously is combining your fields into a kind of a chain or a longer field, bigger field, to maximize your points at the end of the round. But it's important to remember, you only get to do one of those things on your turn. Either you've retained a card and played a field piece, or you've discarded a card and gathered a new field piece. And then you'll take the rest of the cards in your hand and you'll pass them to your left. And you're going to continue this way until you've gone around and all the cards have been played and you've done the 6 turns within that round. And then we move to the end of the round, which is the harvest and town supply phase. So In the harvest and supply phase, one of the big things you're looking for here is bonuses. You can get bonus grain and bonus coin. So that handy card that we looked at the beginning will show you which is which. So if you have 3 connected fields, you're going to get 2 bonus grain. If you have 4 connected fields, you're going to get 3 bonus grain. And if you have 3 of the same type of region in cards, in town cards, you're going to get 2 extra coins. But if you have one of the different types of regions, then you're going to also get 2 coins. And if you have the most tiles in play, you'll get 2 additional coins for that. So what you're going to do is then count up all the tiles that you have, all the different spots on the board. And it's easy to count. You can just remove the tile and look at how many spots it covers. But they're pretty intuitive and easy to count for sure. So in the case of the gray player, they've got 12 fields or 12 grain that they're going to get here from just the tiles they've placed. But they're going to get a bonus grain of 3, giving them 15 grain. So they've really done really well here. Now they're going to flip over their cards, but it turns out based on their cards, they only needed 10 grain, which is great. They easily fulfill what the towns need. But if they didn't have enough grain to fulfill demand, they'd have to make some hard choices about who gets what. Now, the thing is, you're also, again, looking at those bonuses. So you're looking to gather the coins based on the cards that you played and fulfilled, as well as any bonuses based on how many tiles are in play, if you have the most, and if you have done a nice job with gathering cards for the different regions, can give you additional coins as well. So once all the players have counted up their fields, their grain, and made sure they fulfilled their cards, collected their coins, they will make sure to place their coins face down to keep it hidden from the other players. Now, before you remove any tiles for the next round, you're going to be placing these uncultivated markers on the board in the different spots that it calls for, or that are open, I should say. And before you remove the tiles that are out there. Now, it's very important that when you come across these in future rounds, you're gonna have to use coin in order to pay to place tiles on the spots where these uncultivated markers are. So coins are not just for winning at the end of the game, but they are going to allow you to continue to place across the map in areas that might not be as friendly to put fields in. But as long as you can pay the cost, you can remove those and place your fields. So you continue this way through all of the rounds, again based on the player count, and at the end you'll total up all your coins, and whoever has the most will be the winner. Now if there's a tie, you will just share the victory. Alright folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here has been in prototype form. So keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now, with that said, I like puzzles, and I like the fact that this game has big tactile pieces as you place your fields out into the environment, or the world, so to say, and how you have to strategically think about how best to place those and so forth to create the maximum points or maximum coinage that you need. Always being mindful of fulfilling the grain demand that will come into play. But folks, ultimately, if this looks like something that would be of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it from me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.